am the program coordinator at MissionBit. So if you don't know what MissionBit is a nonprofit that dedicates in providing free computer science education to high school students in San Francisco. And yeah, so as you can see, our mission is to inspire youth of color from underrepresented backgrounds and low-income students the world of STEM. And what makes our classes special is that we are project-based computer science classes. So, and then we also don't offer grades throughout our coursework. So it's just kind of like based on kind of like doing hands-on learning without the pressure of getting perfect grades. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just talk about our programs that we offer. So we offer Code Your Way, or CYW. So Code Your Way is basically a self-paced semester coding class for students ages of 14 to 18 in San Francisco and Oakland. So this is the perfect program for students who kind of like have a lot of coursework or stuff on their plate, but still want to learn how to code in their free time. Currently, we're offering an intro to web class during this fall, during the semester, a self-paced course, but we also offer intro to Python throughout the years as well. And our main program is Explore Code Academy, or ECA. So ECA is a free semester-long coding classes, both remote and in person, for high school students between ages of 14 to 18. And some of the classes that we do offer are Intro to Python, Intro to Web Design, Intro to Unity Game Design, and Intro to VR. A lot of our students, so if they don't have access to a laptop or computer, we offer them a laptop to borrow during the semester, and we offer them remotely and in person. And we partner up with SFUSD as well to kind of just like motivate students in those high schools to kind of take computer science classes and also earn a stipend at the end. And then our third program is TechStart. So TechStart is our 2-week career preparation program for students and young adults in the Bay Area between the ages of 18 to 26. So participants in this program kind of get an insight about like the tech industry. So those are kind of just like some workshops that they get to attend throughout the 2 weeks. So interviewing, resume, cover letter building, tech career panel with a partnered company, as well as a mentor hour or mentorship. So if they decide to so they get paired up beforehand with a mentor, and those mentors are people who work in the tech industry, and they meet for 1 hour during the program, and then if they decide to kind of continue the conversation, they get into a 3-month mentorship program with them. We also have other workshops as well, like a tech company workshop where they kind of get an insight about like the different roles in tech and that. And yeah, so that program is actually going to be starting like next week, but we offer it throughout the whole year in the spring, summer, and fall. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of like go over a student success story that we had. So Cami Wang attended our ECA and TechStart program. So she did Intro to Unity in summer 2021. Unity is the platform where you kind of get to create video games. And she also did Intro to VR, or Intermediate VR, in spring of 2022, where she got to kind of use the Oculus and create video games through the Oculus. And then after that, once she got into college, she ended up applying and being in our TechStart program. So in summer 2024. So I'm going to go and showcase some of her projects that she created. So in the summer 21, when she did Intro to Game Design, she did a game that is pretty playable. I can share the link if you would like to play it later on. But this is where students at the end complete a whole capstone project where they create their own game. So as you can see, Cami created this like Desert Racers video game. And then if you click on controls, it shows like what controls you can use to be able to play the video game. And then if you play, it's pretty playable. You can play it like at the end. So as you can see, this is like me playing it. Doing a really bad job on it. But yeah, so that's pretty much the video game. And then during her intermediate VR class, she created a video game as well, where she kind of like through the Oculus. So I'm going to show it real quickly. So she built this whole platform through her intermediate VR class. So this is not publishable, so you can't play it. However, it's kind of like amazing some of the things that our students get to kind of like create throughout the final kind of semester and stuff. So yeah, that's like the whole project she created, and so kind of like showcasing her timeline throughout her time at Mission Bit. So she ended up doing so she attended like Lowell High School here in San Francisco, but during her time at high school, she did Mission Bit from 2021 to 2022, where she kind of did Intro to Unity and then Intermediate VR. Afterwards, she now attends Duke University, pursuing a computer science degree, computation and design degree. And then she ended up going into kind of like tech as a data analyst. And then after that, did TechStart, where she kind of like got to refine her job tools and learn more about tech. And then she, in the end, decided that it really did benefit her and kind of like give her an insight about like what to expect in the tech industry. And then at the end, now she's a freelance game designer from 2021 to present. So I guess like in the end, Cami was able to find what her passion was in the end. And a lot of our students here who take our classes at ECA end up kind of creating final products and then end up pursuing computer science or a STEM degree later on at college. So that's pretty much what I have for y'all today. But if you do have any questions about Mission Bits or anything like that, feel free to just like contact me. And yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to go over, actually, can you guys see that okay? All right. So allow me to introduce myself. I'm John Murata, my co-founder, RJ over here. We are going to present to you and unveil for the very first time our stealth startup. It's actually called Votree. So the Votree is actually designed to create better civic engagement for 1 billion people around the world. So what does that mean? Well, let's start with the origin story, which is basically, it's a very simple story because it's actually my story. So I am running for city council in the city of Dublin. And when I began the process of running, I tried to figure out, this is the city, by the way, I tried to figure out, well, what are all the measures, what are all the ballots, what are all the resolutions, all of that I need to be aware of so I can come to city council educated and I can talk to my constituents in a way that is well-versed, okay? Well, I went back about 3 weeks worth of information. And by the way, an average agenda for the city of Dublin is about 1,100 pages. So by about page 5,000, my brain was pretty much ready to explode. So I called my friend RJ and like, there's gotta be a better way to do this. Like, how do I catch up on 6 years worth of measures and ballots so I understand the precedents, the context, and the history of things that are being impactful to my daily life and my neighbor's daily life. But this was me after about 5,000 pages. So the problem is when you are a first-time candidate, you are at an extreme disadvantage. And I mean extreme disadvantage, because not only do you fall behind, but there's all these things you have to do to run, right, and campaign. But this is not a campaign. This is Votree. So when you look at and boil it down, what are your disadvantages? Number one, time. Like, I haven't had the chance to sit in city council for 4 years so that I understand the what's going on, everything that goes through the process of being in that seat, the education around it. Number two, context. I don't often have the full context of the conversations that are happening because, again, as it relates to time, I haven't been in that seat for a very long time. And then precedents. Precedents being what are all the things that happen that lead up to where we are today in terms of the measures, the ballots, and the resolutions. So today, I want to share with you how Votree is going to serve and try to solve two of these things, right? I can't solve for one because I can't bend time. But so here's a solution. Let me flip over. So today I'm going to show you parts of our wireframes for Votary. And we are still in stealth, so you'll notice that there are some things that are slightly different from what you would normally see. But at the end of today, hopefully in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to offer all of you something for sticking around. Okay. So first of all, when you come to Votary, I'm going to play the part of a young lady named Alyssa Smith. Alyssa is a young lawyer in a law firm, and the law firm serves a particular industry, which will go unnamed, but basically her role is a lobbyist, okay? She wants to know what's happening in the US Congressional District number 14. So for those of you familiar with local politics or federal politics, Eric Swalwell is the congressman representing US Congressional District number 14. So that involves cities such as Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore, San Leandro, Fremont, okay? What you see here is when Alyssa logs in, this is her landing page. She sees on her screen very, very quickly the history of things that are happening within US Congressional District number 14, basically Representative Eric Swalwell. So she'll see on measures what's happening in terms of votes that are coming up during council. Additionally, we give a nice aggregated view of what are all the measures and how are they totaling up in the overall district. And then where necessary, we bring down the details of each council member and their votes. So today, you can get this information, right? Because it's publicly available. But do you get to see it like this? No. So what we're doing is we're changing the way that folks visually interact, and the information is provided to the citizenry so that they are able to ingest this information and understand it in a way that they don't have to read through 5,000 pages. Moving over into the setups, this is somewhat of more of a technical design here, but you'll see here that we have actually thought ahead and designed the system in a way that makes it easy for Alyssa to be able to manage her profile. We will be enabling two-factor authentication because we don't want somebody else who thinks they're Alyssa to join and look at the congressional district information. And then in terms of preferences, this is where we think it's the most powerful because it is now her ability not only to find and tag the things that are incredibly important to her because of who she represents in the law firm, but also because she can pick the jurisdictions that she wants. Because as we know, law firms don't have just one junior analyst, right, or one junior attorney. They actually have several. So you can now bifurcate or split apart who can take what and who can look at what information, and also provide that summary back to the senior partnership. Let me go back to home. I'll look at latest activity. So this one is one that we think is really, really neat because it gives you the view across the board of all the measures in aggregate that's happening in real time. What's the latest information that's being voted on? Because Fremont has a different schedule than Dublin. Livermore has a different schedule than Concord. So you can see in total what is being voted on, and you can actually determine the outcome, right? That is really interesting. But this is a table view, which is okay, right? But we can improve. We can do something better. Now, one of the things that we also do is you can hover over any particular line item. It'll show you a quick summary, the voting history of that. And then if you need to, you can actually click into the detail. And what it'll do is it'll only give you a summary of the resolution. It gives you the vote by council member. And one of the things that I mentioned earlier in the other panel was that there are levels of maturity of your tech stack as it relates to AI. You don't go from zero today to conversational AI tomorrow. It's not going to happen. So what we're doing is we're building upon little bit of things such as we're doing NLP first, we're doing informatics, we're actually going to be getting into neural networks. And as we get into those levels of AI, what you'll find is these related links will actually start to mature as well. So what you see here are pretty much very easily categorized related links to things such as Dublin's waste management plan. However, how do you find things like litigation? How do you find other things in other cities that are relevant to what you might have? Why? Because if you're the mayor of the city or a council member and you use Votary, you want to know how your respective peers are also voting. So now what we're creating is we're creating relational integrity, right? That is something that is not available by reading a bunch of PDFs, 5,000 pages of them. I'll do a quick view of some of the dashboards just to provide a way that you can see visually, again, representing by category. So remember how in Alyssa's setup page, she selected the categories that she was interested in. Well, those are the exact same titles you see here. And by the way, we now tally for you the aggregate of city council members according to their particular votes on those issues in aggregate. So for, against, and abstain. And then actually we're going to add one more, which is absent. Finally, I'll show this one just one more time for simplicity's view. But what we plan to do is also up here on the date range, you'll be able to select your range of what you want to see according to the measures. And then what we think is also a really interesting feature is you get to export the data. So now you have the ability to not only send it into a PowerPoint, because if you're an analyst or a junior attorney, you can help categorize that for your senior partners, but you can also export it out as CSV or as an Excel file. And then the one thing I didn't show you was we're actually going to be building APIs as well. We're going to allow you to tokenize your API connection. So now if you're using tools like Granicus, like Civic Plus, you can actually ingest the exact same amount of information back into the system as well. Okay. So that is Votri. What do you think? Pretty good? All right. Thank you. So what's next? The team is set. My buddy RJ here, right? Where's Renee? Renee is back there, my other co-founder. So you got the entire team here. We're actually, this is our go-to-market plan. In many ways, we are actually going to be starting grant funding. So just for sake of reference, we are not doing equity funding, right? This is designed for the civilian. This is designed for our citizens. We're doing completely grant funding because it is your tool. It is a tool for the masses. It is a tool for the citizenry. So we're not doing equity funding because we don't want outside influence on the way that we build the product. We're actually already talking to city managers just through my time running for city council. I'm actually connecting with many other supervisors, council members, and mayors. And we're working with a UI designer. She's amazing. She's actually helping us. All the stuff that you saw today was her work. So RJ and I take no credit because that was all her design, and she's extremely creative, and we love her for it. And at the end of the day, the one thing I want to, because all of you have stuck around for what, 7 minutes now, 8 minutes? I want all of you to, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, please let me know. I would love to know what city you're in, and I will let you use Votri for free. So Votri is going to be actually, it's going to be free for publicly available data that you can probably pull on your own. But any of the dashboards, they'll be more a freemium model. But for all of you today who are here, please connect with me on LinkedIn. Just say, John, I saw you at GovTech SF 2024. I will let you use it for free. All right? Thank you.
Let's give it for Votri.
That's it.
Hello, Makako, Richard Koino. My name is Richard Ng, and I'm here to do a brief presentation on my project, DigiDAO. It's a DAO supporting indigenous entrepreneurs, but also talk about how we can use tech for public innovation, traditional ecological knowledge. So a little bit about myself. I've worked in local government, especially in the Bay Area, for over a decade. I worked in the City of Tucson City Manager's Office. I was a public administrator at Berkeley Unified School District. I was a PE teacher at SFUSD. And then also in civic tech, I've worked with Open Oakland. I was on the steering committee. We worked with the City of Oakland to help them build digital solutions, all citizen-driven. So when we talk about our conversation today, we're going to be talking about tech, TEK, traditional ecological knowledge. And what I'm talking about here is the knowledge that indigenous people have acquired over hundreds and thousands of years, right? The relationship of the people to the earth, the relationship to nature, animals. But how can we use tech to help address the needs of, solve the needs of our communities? How can we use tech to create participatory governance? Does our communities have the willingness to explore new structures and innovations to create community-driven solutions? So my project is DigiDAO. Right now, we're a fiscally sponsored program within New Mexico Community Capital. They're a 501c3 based out of Albuquerque, but we're fortunate enough to get funding through the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. So we're participating in their Pioneering Ideas initiative. And really, our whole mission has been, can we engage a cohort of indigenous entrepreneurs to support economic development, but also economic sovereignty and self-determination? So what is DigiDAO? DigiDAO, a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. Our DAO is a community of indigenous people aligned through native values, culture, practices, and interests. We're an open source platform that facilitates traditional economic cooperation through efficient and accountable exchange of goods and services. But it also reflects the indigenous culture and the ecological and community values. So simply beyond financial value. Again, that's the tech component that I'm talking about. It's a platform where governance and transaction decisions are made collectively, but not by any individual authority, right? We're talking about sovereignty. So sovereignty is a big driver around all of this. And again, it's not subject to any rules, oversight, or technologies as well. We know that indigenous entrepreneurs face many barriers, right? Barriers for resource acquisition, acquisition of knowledge, but also a lot of entrepreneurs, and not just indigenous entrepreneurs, lack that sense of community for support. Community to be able to exchange resources. So DigiDAO is our solution where we can create a space for these entrepreneurs to work collectively. We talk about the kinship economy. Can we recreate these historical trading routes that were established hundreds and thousands of years ago and build in sovereignty and reciprocity into supply chains, right? Also our DAO, because we are a Web3 project, we look at emerging technologies. How do we use blockchain for resource acquisition? How do we use protocols such as the Gitcoin for quadratic funding and participatory funding as well too? So this is what the space that we're trying to create. So over the last year and a half, we've been doing a lot of R&D, but this past year we officially summited our DAO. So we have 11 members, all indigenous entrepreneurs, some of our businesses. We have Warpony BMX, which is a biking collective. They use technology and also BMX to create regenerative leaderships amongst youth. Indigitize is a creative technology development firm. They're working with Navajo Nation to develop financial services, different mobile applications. Glittering World Girl, they're a creative technology house, so they're using XR and AR to create creative technology. We're currently housed on DAO House. We are governed by a smart contract. We do have governance tokens. We're building on the ETH protocol. And also the way we're structuring DigiDAO is kind of like a mother DAO, or in the entity structure would be a serial LLC. So we're able to spin out DAOs that are more theme related. So Resi DAO is what we're calling our entrepreneur-based DAO. Also, we're looking at other DAOs as well too. How do we use blockchain to preserve knowledge? How do we capture biodiversity data? How do we use IP NFTs and create data trust on blockchain as well for the preservation of this knowledge? Our work has taken us all over, right? And again, talking about tech. So we're able to talk with Hedera at an entrepreneur panel. I was at a deep tech panel. That's my colleague over there, Henry Foreman. We're on a podcast with the Blockchain Foundation. We were just at Honolulu Tech Week the other week talking about, again, land-based technologies, right? And we're at the Blockchain Summit, Hawaii Blockchain Summit. And our research, what we've confirmed, indigenous cultures are the original source code. So when we think about this, and we think about all of this different types of indigenous technology, storytelling, right? A big thing that has been driving our R&D is the visionary practice. And this methodology was gifted to us by one of our elders, Dr. Greg Kohete, and he wrote the book, Look to the Mountain. So these 7 stages of the vision quest is what our community uses DAO to create the vision of the future economy that they want, that is based off of sovereignty and, again, self-determination. But my question to everyone is, can we use these tools, tech, right? Can we use the vision quest? Can we use a culturally driven DAO to create participatory governance? Can we use this in San Francisco to gather input from the community and create community-driven solutions? Because if we do have the willingness and we want to create these processes, we have to remember processes informed by indigenous worldview. And we're talking about the physical, digital, ancestral, educational, and also spiritual, right? So when we talk about participatory governance, participatory budgeting, can we bring in all of this ancestral knowledge into these processes as well? So this is the last slide, everyone. So thank you for willingness. When we think about this, my call to action, everyone, in your organizations, in the work that you do, as you explore emerging technology and use innovations, what type of systems and processes do you have around governance? For all government on all levels, what about service delivery? How are you including the community around this and resource allocation? Our processes, we include roles, ceremonies, protocols, and tools. So I encourage all of y'all to think about all of that too, especially when you're looking at Web3 as well. that's the end of my presentation. So mahalo, everyone. I want to thank Ken and RJ and everyone from the Emerging Tech Council, OEWD. That's just a link. So I'm on LinkedIn, but please find me in the hallway. I would just like to, it's not a QR code, so not yet. But, please find me in the hallway, and I'd like to talk about it. Again, economic development, community engagement. And again, we're building a cohort of indigenous entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things. Our bioregions are going to be New Mexico, the West Coast, Hawaii. It's a global bioregion. And we want to help move the tech industry forward, again, using tech, TEK. Mahalo, everyone. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name is RJ, and I'm really excited to tell you guys about the Emerging Tech Coalition. And these are my partners and founders. We got Renee here. He's a tech guy. He's just a guy. And then we got we got Aaron Orsino. He works at Meta. He's a lead product designer, and he's also president of this and president of the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce, Phil-Am Chamber of Commerce. So and we have Richard. You just saw him present. Great partner and advisor from New Mexico Community Capital, as well as in DigiDAO. And now we get to talk about ETC. So ETC is the Emerging Tech Coalition. It was originally AI Tech Coalition, but I really like this acronym, and I want to tell you why. ETC. First off, we need to make it more inclusive. So if we're going to talk about AI, let's include all tech. So we want to include all emerging tech to give it to everybody. So ETC is the Emerging Tech Coalition. ETC also stands for etc. And when you look at that translation, the literal translation is "and the rest." So how can I get tech out to the rest of us? So that's my mission. That's our goal. And we're powering the future with tech. And our mission to do that is bringing together this gap in knowledge that we see here in San Francisco. I want to say that we're we're the heart of tech. We're the heart of AI here in San Francisco. That's very true. But what's also very true is all these, government, community, small business, all these business organizations and nonprofits, they have no idea what the tools and capabilities are of AI. As a developer, I get to understand that and see where we're going with that. So how can I give access to everybody and get them up to here where all the other businesses are and get them acclimated to AI fast? So, we're on a mission here to democratize that access. And, we want to do that through partnering with all the different startups, big tech, and get them to provide their tools and find them customers through the partners that we have, such as the New Mexico Community Capital, which is a nonprofit, and the San Francisco Phil-Am Chamber of Commerce, which is a business organization. So with their members, we are able to offer that as to sponsors and get them to offer their tools to us for free, for credits, for a discounted amount. So then we can get people to access or use their actual tools, because that's what they want. They want users, they want customers, they want feedback. Well, instead of giving it to dev tools and we're giving it to devs, we want to give access to everybody. Because with AI, it's doesn't matter if you're non-tech or tech. I mean, it still does matter, of course. But the way you can access information, the way you can access this technology is so much easier now. And if we just take that leap, if we help show people what's available and what's actually possible, then we'll go ahead and do that and provide that. So a couple of this, we want to show you what drives us and some of our values here with the ETC. We talk about equity, collaboration, innovation, community impact. Again, we want to provide tech for all. With the whole ETC, tech for all of us. Cool. Yep, we showed all the members. Also, no, you go back a little bit. We also want to show Majid Crawford. He's another partner and advisor from the New Community Leadership Foundation. We'd love to have mission hiring at some point, but looking at you, Michelle, but we'll see. We have fiscal sponsors, and we want to thank Desi and Cultivate Labs for giving us this opportunity. Desi's over there in the back. I want to clap for that guy, because thanks so much for making this possible. And of course, thanking New Mexico Community Capital, Phil-Am Chamber of Commerce, New Community Leadership Foundation, and our company, AI Migos, where we're all working together to make this possible. So the way we're doing this is we're offering tools and resources, custom integration, and education and training. So when we do tools and resources, we're providing people access to, say, for example, we'll talk to a Replit or a Google. Google has Gemini. How can we offer these tools for free to users? we'd talk to them, get a sponsor package, and let them know that, hey, we have all these organizations under us. We have all these, we have such a big market. My pitch to them is, instead of giving it to devs and just giving it to devs, we have AI now. So how can we offer this to this bigger market of non-tech devs that really want to see and use these tools and know what's possible? Because that's what's available to us now. And we can also build custom integrations, working with a partner like Desi and helping AI talk to his data. So that's something that's a fun project. Or working with Richard and New Mexico Community Capital and providing them chatbots. So those are things that we can provide community members or organization members, and they're members of their organization. So anybody that's a member of their organization has free access to this, easy access to this. And not only are we providing the tools, we're providing education and training. So whoever our partners are, they'll provide workshops to use their tools. A good example is like a single store where they provide webinars whenever they have new tool drops. So they'll provide that. It's something that we can then extend, not to just to developers, because that's who they give it to. We would extend that to businesses. We would extend that to IT leaders in those businesses, executives, their community members. So those are people that we would give that to, and they have an even bigger market to tap into. So right now we have, the monthly workshops, we're getting there, but we do have workshops. We do teach AI for business. We provide tools and how to use those tools. And we'll provide that with that link, or if you guys want to talk to me, we'll go ahead and do that. If you want to go back, Renee. Those exclusive AI tools, we're talking to partners right now. So members can gain access to a library of AI tools. So we mentioned Replit. We mentioned, we have partners with New Mexico Community Capital with Jake Foreman, who is with Google. Aaron Orsino's with Meta. So we do have big tech with us, but we also, me and Renee, work actually frequently with CEOs of startups. So we have made those connections. We have, we've done the grind. We've done the legwork. So we go ahead and meet all these guys and say, hey, this is a benefit to you. You need users. We have them. You want feedback. We'll give it to you. Let's partner, and you give this social impact back to the community. And then we'll actually provide tech back to the city, make this the heart of tech because the community has it. So that's, with networking community. So help us get involved. You can join the movement. There's a couple ways you can do it. If you want to be a member, we would love to partner with you. We're looking for nonprofits, organizations. You don't have to be a nonprofit or an organization, but we would love to be able to also offer you their slate of services. They provide more than just AI and tech services. We just want to be able to provide that for all their suites of whatever else they do. And I do want to talk about some future things that we are doing and we're working towards. There's a potential of working with the San Francisco Unified School District and working with high schools to then create internships for students. We're working with, I would love to work with OEWD and TechSF and talk there. I'm just shamelessly plugging. So we can provide this AI workforce development program for the city and be one of the first of its kind. Do something cool like that. And create those partnerships and continue to grow strong there. But yeah, today was the launch of the ETC. So thank you guys. If you guys have any questions, reach out.
etc. Thank you all for being here and launching it at this event.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all. You heard about the organization I run for the past 8 years, but I'm very excited and honored to be sharing this space with one of our alumni. She's going to introduce herself in a couple of seconds, but the whole point of this fire chat is for you to really understand how young people in San Francisco from non-traditional backgrounds are getting jobs in the tech industry. And I appreciate how earlier today, City College talked about this educational path, which is the traditional path. But there is a lot of young people out there that really don't like college, cannot afford a 4-year degree university, and also might not really see themselves going to college and getting a job in the tech industry. So today we're going to try to dive into really this opportunity. So Let me introduce our panelist today. She's going to introduce herself and also tell them a little about yourself, if it's possible.
Sure thing. So I'm Jocelyn. I was part of Dev Mission's cohort number 5. So when Dev Mission started out, and then I was one of the first CTAs, and that's where I really learned what like a help desk was. I'm also born and raised here in San Francisco, so this is my home, and yeah, it's been a journey for sure since Dev Mission. But with the support of Dev Mission, I've been able to excel in ways that I didn't even think of or imagine.
Great. Put your hands together for Jocelyn right away, please. So imagine cohort number 5. We're at cohort number 28 right now. I'd love to get a 50 and one day 100. But before we get there, I want to ask Jocelyn, how did you hear about Dev Mission and the reason why did you sign up for our program?
So I actually heard from Dev Mission when Dev Mission was in a small computer lab in Valencia Gardens. And I was just using the computer lab and Leo was in there. And Leo, if anyone knows him, is very persistent. And so I would consistently go to the computer lab because I just needed to do homework, print out papers, anything. And he kept on asking, when are you joining Dev Mission? For a year. And then finally I took a leap of faith and was like, you know what, I think it's time. And yeah, I joined Dev Mission, and through that time I was working 3 jobs just so that I can attend it because I believed in what Dev Mission was and what it is now.
Great. Thank you for that. So now, 12 weeks later, you graduated from the program. Tell the audience, what did you learn out of that program and how that program helped you pursue the next step?
Well, there was a lot of things that I've learned. I learned coding. I learned IT essentials. We would take apart a desktop and put it back together, and you had to be resourceful. We learned the communication skill, critical career skills that along with communication skills and Internet of Things. And what inspired me to go to the next step was Dev Mission would have offsites to tech companies. We visited Google, Uber, Square, and in these spaces, I at first didn't see myself, but as time went on, I started to feel like, okay, I can do this and I can see myself there. And talking with everybody there, the mentors, they really put things into perspective for me. And so that's what inspired me to then become a CTA and just see where it led me.
So now tell the audience, what did you do as a community technology associate during the time of that internship?
Yeah, I provided tech support for Valencia Gardens, free tech support. And there I learned what the help desk was, which is what it was the issue that the person came in for, troubleshooting steps that I took in. And that's what essentially later down the road was what a ticketing system was like. I also learned in keeping track of inventory and all the assets and the donations that were being donated. And that is super essential to do. And then also refurbish these computers because this is going to go back to the program and for others to use. And I also started to build relationships with the community, and that was very impactful for me because I didn't realize there was a gap for those that didn't have much tech knowledge, and that was something that impacted me a lot, and I wanted to continue.
Nice. So now let's go into the apprenticeship space, which is the conversation we had earlier today about TechSF and how they continue to provide apprenticeships at the city level. So share with the audience, how did you end up with the first apprenticeship for the organization and the company that you were selected for?
Yeah, that was a crazy process because it was still new, but we had workshops. I believe Orion was there, and he was helping us with our resumes. We were learning how to go through interviews, and then when the interview finally happened at Postmates, it was in a panel. So it was about 5 Postmates employees and then 5 other people that were also fighting for the job. And it was very nerve-wracking, but it was something that later down the road, now that being in tech, not being nervous for an interview and how to be able to be confident when you are interviewing. And so once I interviewed and I got the apprenticeship, I actually was told by the IT director that the reason I was hired was for my communication skills and my personal skills, because that was something that mattered more to them at the moment, and the knowledge and all the training were going to come along. But the little bit that I did, at the time I thought it was a little bit, but it was very significant at what I was doing as a CTA, and applying it to as an apprentice, it made me shine in ways, again, I didn't even imagine.
Thank you for sharing that. Big shout out to Orion Willis and Christy Speck, who's now helping us out as well at the state level. So now here we are, 2024. You and I have been following the work that you've been doing. We have our powwows over Slack and conversations. So let the audience know what happened after you completed your apprenticeship at Postmates and where you are now. And looking at that journey, what would you advise will be for anybody in that opportunity that you are or might be down the road?
Yeah. After getting the apprenticeship, I've converted to full time, which was very significant for me because I was finally able to move out on my own, as anybody that lives in the Bay Area is very expensive. And with that, Postmates was actually acquired by Uber after a year of being there, a couple months of being from a year. And it was also a process that I didn't know what it was like. And it was very scary because it was during a pandemic. We're going through this acquisition. I don't know if my job is secure, but I rode the wave, and that helped me just keep my faith in that things are going to be okay. And after that, I ended up at a startup called Humane, and I was the only IT specialist for a good amount of time. And I learned so much, and throughout that led me to where I'm at now. I'm IT specialist still at a insurance company called Openly. I get to work from home, so I have a work-life balance that I once imagined and manifested for. And so anybody that is going through this right now, what I would tell them is just stay faithful to yourself, and that everything will be okay. It will work out some way or another. One door may close, but another one will definitely be there for you. And to not give up on yourself, because that is something that you can easily lose. You can lose motivation, you can lose faith, but if you keep true to yourself, it works out.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Put your hands together for Jocelyn, please. So as we wrap up this fire chat, I just want to give you some stats. Since 2017, 500 young people have been part of our registered pre-apprenticeship program. Over 400 have graduated from our program. And as of today, close to 350 young people are working in jobs in the tech industry. But that all comes together from everybody that's been supporting this organization. So today, my call of action is be a volunteer, be a mentor, support our work, and let's continue to build the next generation of tech talent, because there's other Jocelyns out there that need this opportunity. Thank you again for having us as well.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Richard, for the amazing work. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph Lamb. I'm a Senior Manager of Social Impact Programs at Automation Anywhere. Automation Anywhere is a leader in AI-powered process automation that puts artificial intelligence to work across organizations. For the last 20 years, our enterprise software has been empowering organizations around the world to unleash productivity gains, drive innovation, and accelerate business growth. Our company is guided by our vision to fuel the future of work by unleashing human potential through AI-powered automation. So here we're just going to continue on with the topic of reskilling. 2 years ago, we formally launched our Social Impact Office. And in that time, we've been super busy. We joined the Pledge 1% Alliance, aligned our impact initiatives with the UN SDGs, and committed to the World Economic Forum Reskilling Revolution. Our Social Impact Office is on a mission to harness automation and AI for humanity. And we do that by leveraging our technology to help organizations accelerate their mission. and to help reskill and upskill workers around the world. Our impact spans the globe with partners utilizing our technology to impact their communities. Take, for example, our automations created in partnership with the Center of Humanitarian Technology and Step with Hope. We created 2 bots that allowed internally displaced people of Ukraine to make requests via phone for specific aid items like diapers and medicines. We're proud to say that these bots have supported over 150,000 refugees in 2 years. Our AI and automation training programs have been able to help uplift underserved and economically challenged communities to prepare for the future of work. To date, our investment has provided over $44 million of technical training to job seekers all over the world. So why is reskilling and upskilling AI and automation? We're committed to fuel the future of work, and that future of work belongs to everybody. As part of the reskilling revolution, we're supercharging the skills of the global workforce, no matter where they live or the communities they come from, and to build a more equitable and inclusive future. The World Economic Forum estimates 1.1 billion jobs are liable to be radically transformed by technology in the next decade. Automation is projected to create up to 6 million new jobs by 2030. So what are we doing to ensure these benefits are accessible to all? At Automation Anywhere, we have invested in a slate of resources that we offer free of charge for our reskilling partners. Our program offerings revolve around 3 components. 1, digital skills training through Automation Anywhere University, a remote learning platform. 2, scholarships for industry-recognized automation and AI certifications. And 3, free access to our automation software for hands-on learning. In partnership with nonprofits and workforce development organizations, we deploy these resources to communities around the world, from refugees in Japan to rural workers in the Mississippi Delta. At the heart of the program is Automation Anywhere University. We've invested in our platform to help learners build technical skills flexibly and on demand. Not only is Automation Anywhere University utilized for reskilling participants, it's a learning hub for our enterprise customers to upskill their own workforce. Our team has developed role-specific learning paths for all levels, whether you're new to automation and AI or you're mastering advanced technical skills. For new learners, Automation Anywhere University provides a no-code, low-code, end-to-end training to start a career in automation. Our team is continually adding new content and courses to Automation Anywhere, covering, you can see over there, skills boosters on automation, document automation. AI is a constant new topic for us as well. So what's the journey for our reskilling participants? In partnership with organizations focused on reskilling, we help design a program that fits the needs of the populations they serve. Once organizations enroll their participants, we provide access to all of our training resources. Upon completing training, reskilling participants are given scholarships to waive the cost of certification exams that serve as proof points of their technical skills. Participants are welcome to continue taking more advanced courses on demand and eventually earn a higher level of certification, or they can jump straight into their job search. Once they get into the job search, they are able to just move beyond just becoming an automation developer, but you can also bring the skills to different career paths, whether in business or in tech. So we've seen our reskilling efforts completely change lives and provide access to job opportunities that would have not been accessible otherwise. Here's a quote from Ron, a participant in Brazil who went through reskilling and now works as a full-time automation developer. And this is just one of many success stories. And so how do you get started on deploying AI training for your communities? Connect with us to start the conversation. You can learn more about reskilling efforts and read case studies on our reskilling site listed here. There's a QR code you can scan. We're actively engaging with new partners from the workforce development field, corporate partners, and government agencies. So I invite you all to join in on the reskilling revolution. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Well, finally we are here. So, the entire San Tech Week is pretty intense, I believe. And thank you so much for joining us at this event. So, my name is Zafu DFU. I'm the partner at One Piece Labs. We are a Web3 incubator providing one-stop solutions to help all the Web3 founders growing to the next stages. And we were started from 2 years ago in Santa Clara. And we are mainly backed by Sequoia, Several Fund, and several other family offices. So previously, we had 3 verticals. One is investment, the other one is community, and also we have incubation. So as for investment, we have invested in more than 52 Web3 projects, including Merlin, DAppOS, Sending Me, Scaling X, a lot of very amazing founders. And also regarding community side, so we were actively hosting on-site events after pandemic because we believe meeting in person is more efficient. So that is why until now we have hosted more than 180 on-site events, including demo days, hackathons, conferences, happy hours, after parties, and starting from the beginning of this year, we hosted a series of Web3 university tours. So we brought the top tier Web3 experts to the real industry, to the universities, and we share some job opportunities with the students. And frankly speaking, I was very impressed to see that a lot of blockchain students have their own projects. I would say more than 70% of them are working on Web3 projects. Very amazing. And yeah, definitely. Bravo. And also, so we're gonna do another round of university tours very soon, I guess starting from the end of this month. And right now we have the commitment from Paradigm, Pantera, A16Z. So a lot of amazing companies gonna join us. So please follow us on our website, onepiece.labs.xyz. And meanwhile, regarding the incubation, so right now we just started our 5th batch this year. So we are working on it. Bitcoin ecosystem, mainly we selected 8 teams for more than 150 applicants. And we worked with Merlin Chain, Franklin Templeton, and OKX Ventures. So if you happen to be a Web3 founder working on Bitcoin ecosystem, feel free to reach out to us. And later we gonna, starting from the middle of this month, we gonna start our next batch, which is the final batch for this year. So we will do GameFi, SocialFi, and ConsumerFi. So feel free to reach out to us. And frankly speaking, for today, we are honored to be invited in here. And I'd like to thank the city government. I'd like to thank Sonia from Orbis 86 and Ken for organizing this such a great event. And so for today's session, actually, I have to apologize because one of our team cannot make it today. So we only have one team presenting. Sorry for that. However, so I believe this is going to be fun. So in here, I'd like to invite one of my friends here. So AI technology has been a great part of this world, and it is driving this world forward. So a lot of people ask me about AI plus Web3 because that is our previous batch with ZOG. And frankly speaking, from my perspective, that is pretty interesting because a lot of people said that Web3 need AI to tell a bigger story and have higher FDV. However, the other way I would say Web3 is also very important for AI technology because when you look at AI industry, there's no public companies out there yet, even for OpenAI, right? However, so Web3 industry actually offers AI companies a very smooth and successful and good way for exit. So, and also we care about, in Web3, we care about security, data privacy, and technology, innovation, those kind of stuff. This is perfectly aligned with AI technology. So the next project I'm gonna introduce is also AI. So they are working on AI digestive health. So actually, I myself has this kind of issue, and they are embedding traditional Asian medicine methods into it. I would say that is pretty fun, and I believe it will be useful because it has been tested for thousands of years. So next, I'd like to introduce our team here. So I'd like to introduce Len, the co-founder and CEO of Unita Health, on the stage. So let's give Len a round of applause.
Thank you, Doug, for the introduction. Hi everyone. I'm Lan, founder and CEO of Unita. Unita is AI-powered digestive health advisor. First, let's do a quick show of hands. Have anyone experienced digestive disorder like bloating, abdominal pain, diarrhea, or constipation? Yeah, I see some hands. You are not alone. Many people suffer from these symptoms silently, often feel frustrated and hopeless. Gut health is not just about digestion. It's crucial to overall health as well. Poor digestive health has been linked to weakened immunity, higher inflammation, and chronic disease, such as immunity imbalance, liver disorder, and thyroid imbalances, even mental health, such as anxiety and depression. In fact, I don't know, you guys know, guess how many people suffer from digestive issue? Actually, shockingly, 25% of the population suffer from ongoing digestive issue that aren't managed well, leading to over 130 billion annual health costs in the US alone. So people like me suffer struggles with digestive issue for many years before finding a lasting solution. Why? Here is a problem. For the diagnosis, it takes up to 4 months to see a specialist, and many tests are unnecessary just to rule things out. And for the treatment, 70% people receive generic treatment than personalized, not personalized at all. And cross-discipline specialists are very few and hard to find. All those challenges create immense financial, physical, and emotional stress, resulting in 96 lost productivity days annually and millions of emergency visits. Here, UNITA bring our solution. First is our AI-driven personalized health assessment. UNITA do timely evaluation of digestive health as well as constitutional imbalance through user-friendly conversation and tongue image recognition, along with our proprietary database. Second, we use cross-disciplinary care that focus on traditional Chinese medicine as well as nutritional science to provide comprehensive and integrative treatment plan. And lastly, you need to use digital empathized user engagement to deliver timely personal care and continuous support to enhance user engagement and treatment adherence. Now let's show our demo. No, it's not working. Okay, I will. Video is not working? Okay, cool, it's fine. Okay, then I will walk us through the picture demo then. So as you can see, UNITA starts by providing a comprehensive gut health assessment and body constitutional type assessment to identify the root cause of digestive issue and body constitutional imbalances. Users can then easily log their daily activities, like their meals, what they eat, what they have a drink, also, as well as bowel movement and the symptoms, like how much their tummy pain and where is the pain located. Also, users can log their stress, sleep time, skin condition, medication, and more using text or photos. UNITA's machine learning then analyzes those logged data to pinpoint the symptom triggers accurately. Along with the health journey, users can consult with Unibot for their health queries 24/7. It considers users' health profile and answer based on our extensive proprietary database. With advanced retrieval augmented generation, each recommendation is cited with the authoritative resources. So together with the health assessment and activity logging analysis, UNITA customized integrative health plan for the users, which include dietary adjustment, that is customized nutritional guidance and TCM diet therapy to alleviate symptoms and rebalance the body. And also herbal remedies with natural anti-inflammatory and antibacterial herbs to address underlying issue and boost body digestive health. We also customize mind program, which is the strategies focused on mind-gut axis for emotional and psychological healing. For users that want face-to-face consultation, we also offer virtual consultation with our specialist. Users can also purchase their customized herbal formulas and other supplements tailored to their constitution through our app or website. For our business model, we use tiered-based subscription model and in-app purchase, as well as the wellness product marketplace. And for B2B, we have partnership with insurance, corporate, and health providers to make our holistic care service accessible and more scalable. With the use of most advanced AI technology, as well as cross-disciplinary care that focuses on more traditional medicine knowledge, as well as strong partnership with Bohi technology, which have over 150 million users and credit hospitals and Stanford Columbia University. We believe we can take the lead in digital holistic care. The traction. As we are preparing for our launch, we have seen very good traction. I'm most proud of the positive user feedback that up to 86% of the users reported improvement in their GI symptoms and 70% reported reduced need for medication. As for our team, we bring together ex-Google AI engineers, as well as a Columbia University PhD in biomedical informatics and postdoctoral specialist in TCM that also specialize in multimodal TCM AI. Also, we have a strong advisor with expert in TCM and the CEO of Bohi, as well as Dr. Exalia from Stanford Medicine School. As for the market size, as I mentioned, 25%, that's 1 in 4 people around us are suffering from digestive issue. And in the US, it's over 70 million people, twice as many as diabetes. I was shocked by when I look into the numbers, like that many. And with McKinsey research wellness, in over 80% of the consumer now taking priority in their digestive health. So we are seeing a serviceable obtainable market size of $86 billion. As our go-to-market strategy, our targeted user, primary user, are the individual with chronic digestive disorder, and the secondary user are health-conscious people that seek holistic care for digestive health for the overall well-being. And we mainly to serve the target. We are focusing on partnership as well as targeted online outreach. For the partnership, we are partnering with GI and specialists in nutrition, TCM, as well as a psychologist for patient referral. We also collaborate with gut health advocate and work with wellness centers and corporate to increase our patient outreach. And for online outreach, we are participating in gut health forums and community directly, and also engage in health comments on like Reddit, YouTube to get users more organically, as well as of the traditional digital marketing with targeted ads, influence campaign, and content marketing. So I would love to invite you to check out our website, unita.ai, and register for our beta testing. Let Unita help you guide your health through the gut and try the how technology work together with the tradition. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, really innovative stuff. Thank you for presenting this and demoing it. Dafu, One Piece Labs, thank you for bringing this. Is there another group? But we're good? All right. No, we're just catching up time. So One Piece Labs, you need help. Thank you for presenting. And next up is Job Hunters AI. I'll plug this.
Hi, everybody. My name is Garrett, and I'm with JobHunters.ai. We are a comprehensive command center for job seekers. Let me tell you why. So here's the setting, the modern job hunt. If any of you have looked for a job, you know it's a nightmare. There are about 12 million active monthly job seekers out there, and 96% of everybody is looking for a job at least passively at any given time, if they find the right opportunity. The job search for most people lasts over 5 months, and for more senior people, sometimes over a year. And people who are looking for a job spend 10 hours a week looking. A candidate has to send out about 51 resumes to employers to secure a job, and this statistic is old, from 3 or 4 years ago. We believe this number is over 100 now. 75% of all job applications that people submit are rejected by applicant tracking systems automatically and are never seen by a human being. Recruiters spend just 6 to 8 seconds reviewing a resume if your resume actually gets reviewed by a person. And job postings average over 250 applicants for every post, and only 2% of those people are interviewed. Finally, the leaders in this $30 billion talent industry focus on hiring companies, not job seekers. All you have to do is look at the earnings for places like LinkedIn, Indeed, and Glassdoor. They make their money by selling to recruiters and hiring companies. So what does this mean? It means that for somebody looking for a job, it is all pain. And candidates have to go through the following 7 steps every time they apply for a single job, and they have to do this potentially for hundreds of job applications. They have to find a job opportunity that makes sense to them, that they're inspired by. They need to do research on it to see if they're a fit and whether or not the company is worth working for. They need to do customizations of cover letters and resumes. They need to apply to the position, which is often a multi-step process. They need to do outreach, networking, and follow-up after they apply to get their resume to the top of the pile. Otherwise, they're just, in a lottery system. And then those 2%, it's not over yet. If you manage to make it through that far, you have to do interview prep and prepare yourself for the interview. And then the very small percentage of people that get an opportunity to negotiate for a job have to go through that process. So it is an entire workflow. For candidates that are out there, they have to use 16 or more jobs, 16 or more services on average to do this work. And none of them are consolidated. So you have to go to LinkedIn for this. You have to use Google Docs for that. And the result is it's just pain and agony. And this is at a time for the people that are going through a job search, especially if you're unemployed, it's one of the 5 most stressful things you can go through in life, right up there with getting shot. So this is a very tough process. And we took a look at this. My founder and I met while we were, for the first time in our careers, after long careers in Silicon Valley, we were looking for a job for the first time in this process. And we were just astounded how horrible it was. And as product people, we're like, if there's pain, there's opportunity. So we've begun work on a platform to help address this issue. And we've built JobHunters.ai, which consolidates all of these processes into a single unified platform with a tracking system at the center so you can manage your whole job search in one place. We combine that with coaching and support so you can learn how to go about looking for a job and get the coaching that you need to go through that process. And our system is based on comprehensiveness, a single command center for your entire job search, personalization, focused on you and helping you with your job search, and then ease of use. So that is JobHunters.ai. And what I'll do is I'll show it to you live here. And you guys can link in or email me or whatever if people have questions afterwards. It's linkedin.in.garrettrice/GarretRice. So I'll go through and show you the product here. So our platform is currently in beta. You can try it out by going to jobhunters.ai. And after you sign up, you start here. Many job sites require you to create your own profiles, which is copying a lot of the data from your resume. We think that's ridiculous. You've already got a resume. So we use AI to read your resume. And what we do is we take this resume, and this is my resume. Let me find a better one. This one here I want to use. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to just drag and drop it here. And when I let go, we actually, first time ever on that bug, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Well, let's try. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. So what I did instead, for some reason, the resume drop did not work here, is I entered in my LinkedIn profile. And what we do is use AI to read the LinkedIn profile and compare it against the database of between 5 and 6 million jobs that are out there. And then we bring you jobs that match your resume. And that's the first step. And by the way, this is a war that's going on, a tech war, because when you submit a resume, they're using AI to read it. So if you don't have AI on your side, you're in trouble. And that's what we're really trying to do here. So what we've done is read this, we search our database, and then we provide this feedback to you about your resume. And it says, hey, this is what we know about you. Because we know when people are looking for a job, they're not always certain how they project themselves with their resume. So we start by telling them how. And then we populate a tracker with jobs. And so if you look here, this is my job tracker. We've gone out and we've found, based on my background as a product manager, we found these jobs that seem to make sense. All right, and you can delete them or keep them, but at least your tracker started. Your job hunt is started. You've got 5 jobs right now. And then if you want to add more, you hit add jobs. And what we do is we go through and bring you all the jobs we found that match. And so here's the director of product. That's me. Senior director, VP of product. That's me. Integrated enablement. That's not me. And I can just go through and find that. You can search at places other than jobhunters.ai. You can go to LinkedIn and find jobs that way. So let me show you. I'm going to close this window because I have a pre-populated window over here. Can you guys see that? And if I go into LinkedIn, if you notice right now, craft is to the top. If I go into LinkedIn, I can actually find a job like this one, and our plugin will allow us to import that. So I'll just go ahead and click that, and that brings it into our dashboard. Am I out of time? Okay. And so there, that job was added to my tracker. So here are all the jobs that I found that I'm interested in. We have some people on our platform that have over 1,000 jobs that they're pursuing at some level or another. So this is a CRM for your job search. It tracks it. So let's start with what happens next. So once I've populated the jobs that I'm interested in, and you can find them in other sources, you can copy them manually. You got them in your tracker. Then you begin the job hunt process. I'm going to click on this craft.co job. So when I click on that, we enter this particular job's workflow. And this is what you have to do when you're looking for a job. So for this job, you want to read the job description that was posted by the company. We provide the insights that we've kind of used AI to pull out of this so that you get an overview of what's in the job, like details like benefits and requirements or job details. And then we also provide this, which is one of the most popular features, which is our job matching summary. And this is a job fit report. It says, how close does your resume match this job? And if you read here, here's the high level. So the pros are I have extensive experience in product management and strategic alliances. The cons are limited direct experience with supply chain, which is what this job is for. It's true. I don't know anything about supply chain. And so it pulls this out, tells me what my shot at this job is, and a detailed fit on where I need to adjust my presentation to the company if I'm going to be in the hiring pool. We have a company report, so you can learn more about craft.
Demo, right, which is next switch. Standing lead.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right.
You can use this? Do you want me to give you the microphone?
Yeah.
No demo. I'm here just to tell you in the extension of what Allyn City College, what we are trying to do. So are we still awake?
Oh,
All right, good. Come on. Everybody's awake. I'm going to get going. So next switch technology management. What are we doing with AI resilience? You know what? If you're a techie, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about the AI today because you heard so many about it. But what are we here to talk about is the balance. How can we collaborate as a community? So a little bit about my background. I have been in IT, cybersecurity, governance, process, compliance for 24 years, actually 30 years. So I was born in Hong Kong, formative year in England, and then family migrated to United States over 40 years ago. So I'm a little bit complex. But with that saying, why am I here is to try to bridge the gap between the students, which I brought a couple of them here to support me because I'm worried. They are from San Francisco State. So they have been helping me to grow the mentorship program and the workforce development. What are we tying it into the AI resilience is because I started the field as a cable puller. So I was in like Brittany, so unfortunate, but my background coming from Hong Kong, try to struggle with my, languages in English is also a challenge on its own. By the way, kudos to OEWD for the Cybersecurity Awareness Month of October. This is the time that don't forget that you have to be vigilant, you have to be knowledgeable about this, and be aware what's going on. So this is what we refer as elevate connaissance. So what is about cybersecurity problem? It's a whack-a-mole. So I'm not going to go into the detail. They're fragmented about IT, cybersecurity, governance, risk, and compliance. Everything is in a silo process. All of this is what we referring is resilience. How is your company, the company you work for, the people around us, how do we build the resilience about this? And this is what we bring it into the AI, using data analytic to convert everything into a resilient index. And again, I'm not going to go into the detail on the tech stuff. You can always find me. But what is the urgency for this? Well, it's a little mumbo jumbo on the bottom. It's encrypted like cybersecurity. But the urgency is we have a shortage in talent in the field of cybersecurity. And at the same time, it's costing every one of us some level of economic impact. And part of it is for the business executives or organization management leaders, how do they measure about cybersecurity? And I refer that as a cybersecurity black hole. We have been investing almost to $1 trillion in the last decade into various types of cybersecurity tools. Yet, we still have data breach that affecting our economy in global, reaching to $23 trillion in 2027. And then just in the US alone, 57 billion, and it's going to be 109 billion in crazy numbers. So how about we sharing some of those money into our workforce development? So this is how we, NetSwitch, try to turn this crisis into opportunity by collaboration. So a lot of people knows, we just heard the panelists talking about how we're getting people involved into the tech sector. But in NetSwitch, we are the private enterprises try to bridge that gap. And I have been beneficial from it. I'm a CEO and founder of NetSwitch, by the way, for the last 24 years. And why I'm going back and working with students, because I see there's tremendous value that the student can help me for innovation. And this is the part that why we need to work together as a collaboration into the ecosystem and try to address the talent shortage gap. And by the way, this talent shortage gap, the 4 million professionals it's a global demand, just in the United States alone, every year on the at least 5 years that I've been tracking, it's a 500,000 shortage. And meanwhile, we have a whole bunch of students cannot get a job in IT or cybersecurity. What is going on with this world? This is why, as a private enterprise, I know a lot of Google, Meta, Apple, they're spending money on that area. But as a small businesses, and what I call it a retro startup, how can we bring innovations in our way of helping to distribute the knowledge to the future workforce? How can we collaborate with nonprofit organizations in government sectors, such as like IT apprenticeships? How can we bridge that gap? So a little bit about ourselves. That's why I had a dark background, and it's all encrypted. It's cyber risk governance, and just 4 letters to representing our solution: ABCD, AI and augmented intelligence, blockchain data lake, cyber resilience, which including IT, cybersecurity, and GRC process, and using that data analytic. And back into our model, this is where the presentation really starts, is the workforce development. So in the last few years, I've been working with various universities and trying to put together this ILM, Inspiration Leadership Model. How can each one of you, as your subject matter expertise, inspiring the future generation? And cybersecurity, a lot of people think it's just a techie thing. No, it is not. It is the risk management. It is part of what the federal government, why they lowered the standard in the federal hiring. Without a degree holder can start working for the federal government based on the executive order 13,800. Is lowering the requirement so people can get started into cybersecurity. Talking about IT apprenticeships. This is the model we work with, providing this type of structure for talent development, partnership opportunity. Because I live 2 miles away from San Francisco State, that's my alma mater. I love the Gators. That's why I walk there. This becomes my second office and try to develop this future workforce. And of course, it providing the consistency and the sustainability, not only for the government sector, but also including the private sectors as a small businesses. How can we tap into the talent pool and provide them capstone project, apprenticeship to start helping to get into the career development? How I learned cable to start and getting to become a network consultant and become, the subject matter expertise in cybersecurity. We want to provide this adaptive engagement model to set up successes and help them to give that feeder role opportunity. Like I said, you can't just jump into cybersecurity. We as a professional in the group already know Google is not going to hire new graduate coming from school, except that you're cream of the crops, the apples of the world. Why? Cybersecurity is too sensitive. They want to see your patent. They want to see all your certifications and your experience before they will hire you. So how are those students going to get into cybersecurity? Feeder roles, the IT, security analysts, and these are the things that go on and on. That we providing opportunities. For example, Myra sitting here helping me videoing this. She wants to be an admin administrations as an admin, but she has no idea what to do with cybersecurity. This is how she can help me to do the admin work and know more about the cybersecurity industry. So when she go interviewing with somebody within the industry, whenever she graduates and wants to get a job in cybersecurity, now she's speaking my language. So now she understands all the lingo within cybersecurity. That is how we're setting up as a success for them. And via the capstone project, so we designed 3 different tracks within the mentorship program to help them to understand what is cybersecurity and get more specific with the project, what we refer as capstone project, similar to IT apprenticeships. And then, of course, to help them to balance and provide integrity to their lifetime goal. So these are the success story that I work with. For example, SF State, mentorship, internship, staffing. Rome Business School, all the way from Italy, that I have been able to mentor, providing the internship opportunity, and now they are helping me to bring my business model into Italy. Hong Kong University, when I was applying for the patent grant for my own patent. So Hong Kong government has a patent grant that they can provide, but I need somebody to speak their local language. So I went to turn into Hong Kong University, tap into the law school students, and able to find a student to help me to draft my patent. And then I was able to save money, turn it into the professional legal, and they basically submitted it. And within one revision, I was able to get the patent. And also now, of course, partnership in getting involved with the opportunity with the partners. We don't sell direct. It's too much cost to work as a small company, to work everywhere in the world. So this is why we engage with local partnerships and hoping to bring our expertise to help them to grow their business. Carnegie Mellon, I'm doing some of the work in research and development in AI explainability for those people who was into the AI world. And also work with the University of Washington in a similar program. So last part is the nonprofit organization, Western Region Minority Supplying Development Council. It is a long word, but this is where we partner with San Francisco State, Co-op Korea.org, and try to work with small minority owners, businesses to help them with this type of capstone project to lower the cost of operation, enhance their cyber resilience. So as I mentioned, this is the patent application grant. Without the partnership with the local universities, I was not able to get it off the ground. but because of that, it helped me to do the whole patent within $1,000. Of course, this is a partnership between government sector providing the grant, university providing me with the knowledge, and with our innovation to put together this as a successful program. That's the collaboration ecosystem, why I'm here. This is the reason why Ken invited me to be here. And this is a couple of the success stories. I turned a chef into a cybersecurity analyst. No kidding. This Marco, of course, I gotta hide his identity. And I mentor him through Rome Business School. And he was telling me, Stanley, I put in my, I went to get my certifications, I interviewed, nobody wants to hire me. Then I coach him how to speak our language, how to present yourself into the industry of cybersecurity. Within 4 months, he got a job as a cybersecurity analyst. Another successful case study, very proud of that. 3 years ago, I turned Mary from an accountant to be the first privacy officer for California, state of California. These are the success I would love to repeat and repeat and repeat. Why? Because they also help me to turn my complexity of the innovation into something simple for their local partnerships. So in conclusion, this is what we are doing. My dream is big. We're putting a peace program together, an ecosystem together. If you can see, I spend a lot of time playing with Word, and that's one of the problems within our industry, what we call the acronym battle, but so be it. So peace, platform enable autonomous cyber resilient ecosystem. Yes, we even have a logo of a peace delve. And why? Because we want to collaborate together. Well, ABCD technology, at the bottom, you'll find it on my deck. I hope that you can take a look at it and reach out to me at your pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stanley. Here's this QR code. Scan it. We got our next group up. Eric. Eric from Workforce DAO, some amazing thing they're working with, and his associates are also in the room. We got Dan and Anne-Marie in the audience. The newlyweds. Congratulations, Dan and Anne-Marie. That?
Yeah. All right. Use this mic. Okay, thanks everyone for sitting in at the end of the day. Everybody awake? Everybody ready? All right. So I'm here to talk to you about the Workforce Development DAO and Grace Point Solutions, two projects that I'm involved with. My name is Eric Forrest. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a Web3 company called Bloxy, also co-founder and chief product officer of Grace Point, and I'm the coordinator, we call it the coordinator, not the leader, of the Workforce Development DAO. Who knows what a DAO is? A DAO. Okay, it stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's a term from Web3 that was designed to manage crypto communities. People have probably heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They had a DAO to manage governance around that NFT community. So what we're doing at the Workforce Development DAO is we're part of a community called We Heart SF, which is sponsored by a company called Edge and Node, which runs a place called the House of Web3 in the Presidio. Who's been to the House of Web3 in the Presidio? Okay, great. So the House of Web3 is dedicated to, it's a co-working space that's designed to allow for innovation and collaboration among Web3 and AI startups and innovators. And so I started going there about 1.5 years ago because they had a free yoga class. And as a co-founder of a Web3 startup, I thought I better go check out the House of Web3 and take yoga because I love yoga. Turns out they also have a lunch every Wednesday from 12 to 1:30 called We Heart SF. And so what we're looking at is how can we use this knowledge graph called GeoBrowser, which is a Web3 knowledge graph app. How can we use this to coordinate information and resources around homelessness in the city of San Francisco and the Bay Area? So you might be wondering, well, how is that possible? How is Web3 going to help do that? So let me give you a quick demo of the work we're doing. So I'm going to launch GeoGenesis. And basically when you are in GeoBrowser, everything is organized by spaces. And so, I built out a space on jobs and a job space. So in the job space, you can see what the goals of the space are to help job seekers and to help companies find talent. We've got all kinds of topics on career tests, job boards, cultural indexes, and you can get all kinds of information about hiring and seeking jobs. And in the San Francisco space, you'll find a subspace called End Homelessness in San Francisco. So this is what we work on in our lunch every Wednesday from 12 to 1:30. Everyone in this room is invited to come, check it out, get a free lunch, and learn about all of the different nonprofits and private initiatives, government initiatives, and faith-based initiatives that are working to end homelessness in San Francisco. And the way we organize this project is we're now up to 6 different DAOs. And so you can see here listed, we've got recovery, mentorship, interim housing, which Dan Cordy sitting back here runs the interim housing DAO. The interim housing DAO is building a transitional housing community in Oakland. It's going to be opening next year, 20 tiny homes to help women coming out of recovery have a transitional space with all the wraparound services for recovery, mental health, and mentorship to get into a thriving life outside of homelessness. Street Outreach, and Maria is running the Street Outreach DAO, and I'm the coordinator of the Workforce Development DAO. So it's not enough just to give people housing. You have to give them all the wraparound services if you want to really get someone out of an unhoused situation and into a place where they can thrive. And in many ways, workforce development is the last step in this process. After you've reached out to them, after you've gotten them through recovery, given them the mentorship they need, then there's the whole question of, are they workforce ready? And that is what so many of the training providers here that Ken's office, the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, is sponsoring. So we've seen Upwardly Global, we've seen many of the different training providers here today giving presentations. And what we've done is we've aggregated all of the training providers here in the Geo browser. And in the Workforce Development DAO space, you can also see the goals of the DAO, what the roles are in the DAO. So anyone who wasn't able to get a job working in Ken's office, you can work on workforce development by joining our DAO. You can come to our meetings, come to our lunch. Anyone who wants to contribute can make a proposal, potentially get paid for doing something where you're building HR tech or helping someone with workforce development. That is the mission of our DAO. So a DAO, as a decentralized autonomous organization, is a way for anyone who's interested in the topic to participate, get involved, potentially get paid for your work just by making a proposal. So this DAO space is where all of that is laid out, where you can learn about that. So you can click on any training provider, and because this is a semantic database underneath, a knowledge graph underneath this, you can click on any of the tags, like for example, technology. Now I can see all of the other organizations that offer technology. So if I'm a person looking to get job training skills in tech, and I can very easily see all of the San Francisco training providers that offer technology, because this is a knowledge graph based platform. You might notice here there's a connect button. This is to connect a crypto wallet, because what makes this Web3 is that you have to pay a very small gas fee if you want to edit or publish information onto this website. Because a blockchain is a public ledger, it allows everyone to see how the information got there, when it got there, and who put it there. So this provides transparency and trust to all the information that you're finding online. So we invite all the training service providers to come and claim their page and manage their page. So that's just a really quick demo of what we're doing in the Workforce Development DAO, the kind of information and resources that you'll find there. One thing that I also do is I teach AI. And so I built a custom GPT. Who's used a custom GPT? A custom GPT versus just using the generic chat GPT. If you pay $20 a month, you can explore thousands of custom GPTs. And what makes it a custom GPT is that it's pre-configured to do a very specific workflow. So I created a job training provider selector GPT. And if I go to click edit, you can see that you can configure it, you give it a customized prompt and instructions, and you can upload specific knowledge, which is also called retrieval augmented generation, or a RAG, that enhances the large language model with specific information that you have. So this is a PDF file of all of the workforce training providers pre-configured into this custom GPT. If anyone wants to learn how to do this, I'm teaching a 6-week class at the Occur Career Development Center in Oakland starting November 7th. This is a free AI class for 6 weeks, and you're welcome to apply. Talk to me afterwards if you want to learn more about it, or if you know any students who you think would be great to take this class. It's in person in Oakland, once a week for 6 weeks starting next month. So you'll learn how to build custom GPTs. This job training provider selector has some preset prompts like which training center is best for tech. So I just click that prompt, and now I'm going to get Code Tenderloin, Dev Mission, and Jewish Vocational Services as 3 job training providers that are in Geo that are great for someone who's interested in tech. Or I can make a custom question like this. I like to work with my hands and build stuff. So I typed, I like to work with my hands and build stuff. So saying, okay, so if that's what you're into, here are 3 job training programs for you: Mission Hiring Hall, Young Community Developers, and Goodwill of San Francisco. And then just explaining why those are good programs for you. So I know we have limited time, just wanted to get through the workforce development stuff. And now I'm going to put on my Grace Point Solutions hat, and I'm going to tell you about a startup I'm involved with where I met my co-founders at the House of Web3. And this is also what I would call GovTech, tech that's designed for the public good. And there's an organization called CityServe, and Paul Peisner, who helps coordinate the lunches and the We Heart SF program for GeoBrowser. His family for 30 years has been managing a network of charitable donation warehouses called CityServe. And they had a big problem in their warehouses, which was they didn't have software built for charitable donations. So there's a big problem where they're accepting giant truckloads of surplus goods from Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon. The trucks come in and there's no valuation on it. There's no management system within the warehouse. They're using clipboards or paper or Excel spreadsheets. The warehouses don't have good software. And it's not easy to determine the value or who it actually got delivered to. It's estimated that the value of these pallets is underestimated by 200 to 300%. So the people giving these charitable donations are missing a huge tax write-off. So our solution is AI detection, inventory management software, and a blockchain ledger to give transparency and confidence that this stuff is actually getting donated to communities in need. So when the trucks show up, the volunteer can just use their phone to scan everything coming off the pallets. It will automatically put a valuation on it. So now the donor is able to get a much bigger write-off. The people running the warehouse can then see what they have and know where it is. The donors have traceability through the public ledger of blockchain to see that the stuff actually got delivered to the warehouse and then was given to someone in need. They get a full reporting platform for all of this. So it's intake, warehouse distribution, and reporting. And our pilot starts next month with a CityServe warehouse at Grand Canyon University in Arizona that manages over $7.5 million in gift-in-kind donations. We're really excited about this platform. If any investors are interested in learning more about it, we're raising our angel round right now. Thank you. That's Workforce Development and Grace Point Solutions. Thanks, Ken.
All right, we have Creative 3D coming up next. I'm gonna get the system set up, but if the Creative 3D staff and CEO can come up to the stage. And if you wanna, there's people sitting outside, if you wanna bring them in also to see your demo.
Hi everyone, my name is Ethan Barron. I'm the CEO of a company out of Austin, Texas called Creative 3D Technologies that's making advanced manufacturing machinery, which this is fun. This is one of the few times I've actually been able to give a full discussion on kind of what we're doing because I've been under non-compete for the past almost decade. And now the FTC said back in April that non-competes don't really matter as of the 4th of last month. To the joy of many and dismay of others, we're back in the industry. So, Creative 3D Technologies has been that brainchild company of mine for the past decade. I've put all my company exits basically into it. Basically, we have invented a new type of production called single cell manufacturing. And don't worry about reading all these because me pitching was a very last minute thing. And usually this is more the reader than the visual, but I'll be providing most of the written information you have there. We are basically trying to challenge the modern concept of the production line in terms of where and how things are manufactured and, well, trying to compete with China, which is basically the main thing a lot of people want in the manufacturing industry. In terms of how we're doing that is, imagine on a production line, if you're looking at it, you're going to go from machine to machine to machine to make a final product. All those machines are called production cells. Whether you're bending a piece of metal, punching a hole in it, or populating a circuit board, they're all production cells. What we've made is called single cell production, which is previously a concept of one machine that can move in all the right directions, has all the right torque, speed, can use all the right chemicals you need, to instead move from tool to tool in a box instead of machine to machine on the line and create a fully finished product. Anywhere from semiconductors that are going to power the next generation of AI because we're in a 2 nanometer process, which is about a decade ahead of players like Intel and TSMC, all the way to taking that chip and building self-healing drones for the US military, automotive components, agriculture tech, costumes for Disney, components for the US Army, and etc., all from a single machine, which gets a little bit interesting because it's trying to solve a lot of more inequitable problems that we have facing right now. I mean, look at the whole supply chain issue we just had with the coast and all the ports that just shut down and how it's jacking up the prices of a lot of different products, but also raising the costs on them and timelines to actually get them to you. We need a method to essentially on-site, on-demand produce products that's comparable to the offshores, and that's been the #1 demand sheet for a lot of customers for a long time. In addition to that, we need the future of production. We need the next generation of shapes and structures and topology that's going to power the next generation of products because there's too many hardware companies that have genuinely destructive ideas that never see the light of day because they either can't afford to actually get it to production or the shapes and structures that product needs are not producible. In addition to that, I do a lot of work in the United Nations. I was just there speaking at the General Assembly out in New York. As we provide a lot of these third world communities power, electricity, and give them water filtration, you're not giving them a way to actually maintain and keep them running. You kind of give them the tech and you forget about them. We need to empower the global community and not have those communities be paying the most for basic supply chain. And that's where that whole single cell comes through, where we've made that possible. And I'm going to jump around a little bit because, like I said, this usually isn't a presentation slide, but we've done it. We've actually made that, and that's what's been the past 10 years of work. Actually, we made the self-healing drone you saw on the very first slide. Well, we did it for the DoD. We can't show the DoD one, so we made our own little small one, but we're using basically a lot of manufacturing techs in one. We're 3D printing plastics, ceramics, metals, and then we're pick and placing after we fabricate chips. We're smoothing, we're polishing, we're painting, we're making 3-dimensional circuit boards and going vertical and diagonal instead of just flat. And we have made that factory in a box and are actually currently deploying them. In addition to that, where it gets really interesting is that we're undercutting a lot of offshore production costs. And that's why so many people want to move to this right now. Not only are you not playing into traditional supply chain and all the steps it takes to get to you by producing on site, but simply put, we have less cost of goods sold. As we want a more and more advanced product, you need more and more machines on a line. Those machines cost money, they cost power, and they generate waste. The more machines you add, the more cogs you have to factor in. And the more we do in one, we can't beat a player like China cost for a single part, but the more steps they take to make a final product, the more competitive, if not cheaper, we get. And that's where things become interesting. In addition to that, by putting all these typically simple production methods into directions of movement they've never been able to do, it enables us to create products where typically impossible, like the self-healing drones. And so we have a unit that we're going to be introducing in 2027 that does specifically that. It is your 20+ unit in one factory in a box that, as it's building up batches of products, jumps between a bunch of different production methods in that box. But we also don't think people are ready for that yet. And when everyone's used to one machine makes one kind of product for one kind of customer, you have to build perception. It's like if we went back in time and threw a modern day person, if we went back in time and took a person that's riding a horse and carriage and put them behind a car. Not going to know how to drive it. Got to give them the Model T before you give them the modern day car. And that's where we have a unit that we have here called Evo, and that's what we have in market right now. Initially, we're introducing the term single cell manufacturing so people even know what it means. And starting in one market. Taking a page from Amazon's book, we start in one market, blitz it, and then move to 2, 3, 4, and then eventually become the retailer of everything, or in our case, manufacturer of everything. Where initially we're saying here's a single cell solution to 3D printing. It'll be your $3.8 million tungsten titanium and Inconel printer, your $2 million aluminum, your $1.2 million steel, ceramics, large, small, plastics, fibers, whatever you want in one. But then we're slowly releasing little modules that you see above here in the Evo unit to go from here's all your 3D printing to in the next quarter, we're going to release the blue one to allow you to pick up and drop in motors, electronics, everything as you build it, or introduce your milling, your lasering, your semiconductor fab, buy different modules, expand into more industries. And it's currently doing well. It's in the hands of a lot of prominent different companies. It's in the hands of folks like Disney, US Army, automotive manufacturers, medical device producers, ag tech, robotics, universities, etc., all using them right now. But for us, because this is a bit of a pitch, we are also heavily over demanded. We have LOIs from a company that wants over 4,000 units as an initial order, and that's a well over $100 million order that we can't handle because you don't go from making an impossible product for a decade to hundreds and thousands of units a month. You do a couple, you pass break even, and that's where we're at. But we got the demand for the hundreds and thousands a month right out the gate. So it's building, it's scaling. It means more factories. It means larger staffing and et cetera. So then we can produce more of those factory in the boxes and make sure we maintain the production timeline, R&D timeline, so we can release the more advanced kind of all-in-one product I was talking about towards that 2027 period. Like I said, don't bother reading it because I'm trying to verbalize it all, but make sure that we're on those timelines. And so we currently have an actively open fundraising opportunity that, again, first time we actually get to talk about it because no more non-competes. And we basically opened it a couple weeks ago. We're doing about a $5 million round that's being matched by 2 different parties. So raise 5, we actually get 15 because we have 2 different people that are going to dollar for dollar grant match it. And that's what we're going to use to build our next facilities and actually make sure we can meet that $100 million order, among other things. But that's most of what I have. I know it's a little fast. I know it's a little deep tech because, well, it is a first and only in a brand new industry. But, you know, I'm here, and so is a group of 3 over there in the corner there for any other questions, comments, along with my info on the table. So thank you.